Peace and blessings, everybody. How you guys doing? I hope this video finds you experiencing peace and blessings and joy and calmness and in the busyness of everything that's going on in the world and in the entire universe. I really hope you're taking care of yourselves. I had such an amazing day today. I got some snorkeling in my favorite spot here in San Diego. Got to catch up with some friends today and just really had a smooth and chill day that was a good follow-up to a very busy but productive week. And I think it's so important that we do find those moments where we can really escape the hustle and bustle and the busyness of life and all of our productivity and just really enjoy life. And that's really what we're here to do, is enjoy life and to really live life at a high vibrational level. And that's what I want to talk about this evening, is mindset, and that mindset shift to shift us from living at a level where life just may be okay or not so good or just mediocre to living at a very high vibrational lifestyle, and what that exactly looks like. And what's been on my mind a lot with a lot of the world events and a lot of universal events, if you're someone who's tapped into different realms and different galaxies, you know, as above, so below. So everything we're experiencing here on Earth, that much more out in other parts of the universe is going on. A lot of shifts going on, a lot of things changing, and just a lot that people have not had to deal with or experience. And so mindset for me is key in everything that's going on. It's key in awakening, elevating, being enlightened, whatever it is that you want to consider yourself. There's a lot of people in the conscious community that consider themselves, they call themselves woke or enlightened, or, you know, doing shadow work and all those good things that are so wonderful. However you choose to classify or identify yourself, those things are so wonderful. And I'm noticing just in my personal arena and the areas that I operate, that there's so many people that are coming to this awakening, coming to themselves, getting in touch with spirit, getting in touch with ancestors, getting back to that state of really being centered, being balanced, tuning in, tapping in, turning on all those beautiful parts of themselves. And it's such a beautiful thing. And I applaud you if that's you. But what I really want to talk about tonight is, while we're going on that journey and we're elevating as a planet, as a species, as individuals, as a conscious community, while we are elevating and while we are growing and while we are on that journey, it's so important to, when we talk about practicing mindfulness, when we talk about practicing consciousness, it's so important that we understand that that is a lifelong process. It's not just a one-step thing. You know, there's just no, you go to an ayahuasca ceremony and all of a sudden you take a psychedelic trip, or you go to some meditation, you go to some class, you read some book, you see some guru, and all of a sudden, you know, you're enlightened and elevated, and bam, that's it. We're constantly elevating, and there's constant room for us to continue to elevate and vibrate higher and higher and higher. But when I look around at a lot of things going on in the world, especially within our conscious community, a lot of it concerns me, especially in some of the recent things that have happened this week, with the president and his wife supposedly being tested positive for COVID. And I'm not really a news person, and I've not done a lot of talking about COVID and politics, just not really my area where I feel led to talk in. But what did stand out to me is all of the negative backlash and all of the people, and specifically people who are conscious and enlightened, people that were taking joy and taking solace in the fact that they may have tested positive. That's concerning to me, because as a person that may consider yourself conscious, woke, enlightened, you almost have to really check your vibration when you can take joy in someone else's suffering. You really have to check yourself at the door and really look and take a deep reflection at where you are on the spectrum of vibration. And this is not to say, this person's here because they thought that, and this person, listen, we're all having this human experience. And so we all get into negative talk and putting other people down, being jealous. Every last one of us deal with it. But when you look at it, and if it becomes a constant state of being and living and it goes unchecked, that's a problem. And a lot of the problem is that we do these things and these rituals, and we have this identity of a conscious being, and we get so swept away, and I call them earth problems. Things that in the grand scheme of things are not really helping at all with raising the consciousness and the vibration of this planet. Things that continue to keep us at that low density, earthbound way of living. Things like jealousy and bigotry and hatred and always looking at someone, assuming and nitpicking, and all those low vibrational attitudes that a lot of us feel like we're justified to feel like that because look at this person, they're an asshole, and look how they talk about people, and they're disrespectful, and they're this and they're that. And we feel so justified to feel a certain way toward them just because we don't like them. And that's a problem. It's a problem, and everybody's entitled to behave and act and grow on their journey the way they want to. But just understand that certain behaviors, certain mindsets will really kind of keep us here at this earthbound, low vibrational state. And so for me, the solution in my life has become to always stay open to challenging my belief system, my thought process, the way I'm going about life, the way I'm engaging with people. Even if I'm not engaging with someone, the way I'm thinking about someone. If I see someone walking down the street and my first thought is, oh, look at them, they think they're, got to check my mindset because I don't know them. I've not had an experience with them. And the first thought that comes to mind is a jealous thought, is a hateful thought, is a negative put down of someone that I could probably have a beautiful experience with. Or, the opposite. Maybe I've had a bad experience with someone, but growth and mindset shift is also when you've had experiences with people and when someone is actually a nasty person, can you continue to keep your vibration pure and high at a level to where, it's one thing to stand up for things that represent peace and things that represent unity and justice. It's amazing, and the people that speak out for those things are absolutely amazing. But when it goes beyond the bounds of what's for the greater good, and we do it strictly because we feel justified, because we're angry, and that anger leads us down this rabbit hole, because that's what this time is doing to a lot of people. It's bringing up a lot of feelings of anger and resentment and hurt and trauma. And instead of us coming together and working on different policies and working on different ways of engaging with one another and working on different ways of speaking to and about one another and about our lives, we continue to focus on what we don't want. We continue to talk about we're raising awareness. People are aware. People know what's going on in the world. But instead of always raising awareness, maybe we need to raise our vibrations. Maybe we need to elevate our way of thinking. We always want to, keep raising awareness. And I am not, in any way downplaying things that may be necessary to effect change. But what I'm saying is these are different times and they call for a different strategy. These are times that the way we've always done things might not be effective. Where they were effective 40 years, 60 years ago, today, it's a battle of the mind. It's a battle of the will. It's a battle of, and when I say battle, I don't mean like we're fighting with someone. We're fighting with our ego. we're fighting with everybody wants to be right. Everybody wants to be heard. Everybody wants, and one of the most powerful things we can do is to really sit down, challenge our thoughts. Somebody's singing outside. They sound really good. That's my neighbor. Anyway, but just to be able to challenge ourselves to think differently, engage differently. Mindset, God, because there's just so much. There's so many things that people do. Personal development, reading books, people change their diet. You can go vegan, which is certainly great for me. That really helped me a lot with my mental clarity and mental health. And people do all these external things to try to change themselves. And rarely do we look internally. Rarely, like, we want to blame someone for the state of the world and the state of the country and the state of this and the state of that. But rarely do we look inside and take personal responsibility for the icky, yucky, low density vibrations, thoughts, speech, actions that we personally put out every day. And that's where it starts. That's where the shift starts. When each person looks within and starts to challenge themselves. And some people may not. Some people may go the rest of their lives feeling justified, feeling like they're right in how they feel and how they speak and how they engage with people. And you know what? You just have to let those people be. Let them be on their own little planet, but you don't have to be there. You don't have to stay there. If you're at a place where you feel like you're just kind of back and forth in this negative joy, fearful, I love my life, I hate my life, I'm judgmental about this group and preferential to that group, you gotta check your vibration. Those are our vibrational issues, and that's what's going to shift the planet. Not always raising awareness, but raising our vibration. And so mindset is key. Mindset, it's a lifelong behavioral modification. And it's not so much going through life looking for things wrong and looking for things to fix about ourselves. It's just staying open. And at different seasons in your life, things will flow to you, ideas will flow to you. You will meet people that challenge the way you've always lived. But we grow, we elevate, we shift when we stay open, when our heart center stays open, and we can allow those things to come in and challenge us so that we can grow. So, anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. You guys have a beautiful night, and go out there and raise some beautiful vibrations, and go out there and be the beautiful beings that you were meant to be. I love you. Good night.